And shifting focus, External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar has once again hit out at China and Pakistan at the United Nations Security Council. Now, targeting Pakistan, he said the contemporary epicenter of terrorism remains very much alive and active, whatever gloss may be applied to minimize unpleasant realities. On the China front, he criticized the government for blocking sanctions against terrorists, saying there are evidence-backed proposals that are put on hold without assigning adequate reason. That direct charge against Xi Jinping's government. So that is the offensive coming in from S Jaishankar, who continues to rain fire on the China-Pakistan nexus, this at the United Nations Security Council. Now, the latest attack that's coming in from Jaishankar is that the epicenter of terror, calling Pakistan the epicenter of terror, continues to remain alive and active. And he also added that point that no matter what gloss may be applied to minimize unpleasant realities, the reality is for everyone to see. And on the other hand, when it comes to the China front, he criticized the government for blocking sanctions against terrorists, saying there are evidence-backed proposals that are being put on hold without assigning adequate reason. So this is the message coming in from S Jaishankar at the United Nations Security Council. I'm joined by Ambassador Jitendra Nath Mishra, former diplomat, on the broadcast. But before that, let's listen into what Jaishankar had to say.
Contemporary epicenter of terrorism remains very much active, whatever gloss may be applied to minimize unpleasant realities. There are evidence-backed proposals that are put on hold without assigning adequate reason. Conversely, there have even been recourse to anonymity so as to avoid taking ownership of untenable cases.
Joined by Siddhant Mishra on the phone line. Siddhant, so S Jaishankar not pulling his punches when it comes to taking on the China-Pakistan nexus that continues to fuel terror in South Asia.
Well, yes, absolutely. The same tone and attitude has been maintained by Mr. S Jaishankar while speaking against Pakistan and China, and in fact exposing Pakistan again, reminding people of the testimonies of the victims of 26/11 attacks. At the same time, he also adds on to say that the contemporary epicenter of terrorism remains very much alive. Again, reminding the world that how Pakistan is acting like a safe haven for many terror groups. At the same time, if you remember, from last 24 hours, opposition parties have been attacking the government, saying that Mr. Jaishankar is only speaking against Pakistan on international stage, but not taking name of China when there has been a disturbance on Indo-China border. We all know what happened in Taiwan. So now this time around, Mr. Jaishankar has mentioned China, and he has exposed China's hypocrisy, that how on one end China talks about the good relations with India, but on the other end, the evidence-backed proposals have been put on hold. So he was basically referring to the blanket ban on Maulana Masood Azhar and his organization, which has been kept on hold multiple times by China, despite India pushing it in United Nations. So he again reminded world about China's notorious attitude when it comes to imposing ban on terror groups and terrorists, global terrorists. So this was a staunch remark that has come from External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar, and again on an international stage, he has not only exposed Pakistan but also blames China for not clearing the evidence-backed proposal against the terror groups and terrorists.
Right.